We're back with another even closer look at the Xbox Series X. In our first preview video, we discussed the performance of the backward compatible library, the new Quick Resume feature, and the design of the Series X hardware itself. Today, we can talk about everything else, including the setup process, what HDMI 2.1 means for your TV, and how new games, not just backward compatible titles, play on the console. With that, let's dive into our final preview of the Xbox Series X. If you haven't set up a new console since the beginning of the current generation, you're in for a treat. After booting up for the first time, the Series X prompts you to complete the setup process on the Xbox mobile app. If you already have the app installed, it takes just a few seconds to link your console to your account and move on. This is an incredible improvement over the traditional sign-in process, which usually involves a clunky on-screen keyboard. That's still an option here, but setting up through the app is a much smoother experience. That's by design, of course. We're gonna take a quick, big picture detour here. Not only does Microsoft want to have a presence on every screen in your possession in order to keep you entrenched in the Xbox ecosystem, but the company is particularly invested in the mobile market, the fastest growing segment in gaming. The Xbox app houses your achievements, activity feed, and other community features, but it's also a shell to advertise the separate Game Pass app and xCloud, both of which are critical to Microsoft's strategy in the next generation. Microsoft operates xCloud, one of the most viable game streaming technologies on the market today, and this program lives exclusively inside of the Xbox Game Pass app. Game Pass Ultimate is Microsoft's subscription service, offering a library of more than 150 games for $15 a month, plus access to xCloud, which allows users to stream console titles on Android devices. Game Pass already has more than 10 million members, and it's a source of revenue growth for Microsoft overall. But signing new Ultimate subscribers will be crucial at the dawn of a new console generation. The standard Xbox app is littered with links to join Game Pass, as is the Series X itself. All right, back to the box. After signing in and establishing whether your TV supports 4K, there's a prompt to link the Series X with your home's Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant network. Like the mobile sign-in option, this feature is already live in the Xbox One family of consoles, but I bet plenty of players either don't know about it or simply haven't taken the time to enable it. With thousands of new Xboxes booting up after launch day on November 10th, that's gonna change. I love yelling at my appliances. My ideal vision of the future involves me floating around on a pair of hoverboard roller skates, injecting caffeine directly into my nutrient port, and constantly talking to my house. I currently have Google Assistant in my home, so here are a few of those voice commands and how they work on the Series X. Hey Google, turn on Xbox.
All right, turning on Xbox.
Hey Google, play Don't Starve on Xbox.
Okay, launching on Xbox.
Hey Google, open Spotify on Xbox.
Sure, launching Spotify on Xbox.
The voice assistant isn't able to pull up specific YouTube channels or fast forward through podcast ads on Spotify, but for general commands, it works brilliantly. Funnily enough, this is pretty much the dream scenario that Microsoft laid out with the Kinect at the launch of the Xbox One, a voice-controlled console integrated into your home's media ecosystem. That feature wasn't enough to sell the Kinect in 2013, but after 7 years of growth in the IoT market, voice commands are now a natural inclusion in a new console. By the way, the Series X dashboard we've been showing off is the same one that's live right now on Xbox One, and it will change before launch day, so don't get too attached. Speaking of attachments, the Series X comes with an HDMI 2.1 cable in the box, and this enables some new features, especially if you have a newer or gaming-specific TV. HDMI 2.1 unlocks gaming at 120 Hz, which cuts the frame transmission time from the console to the screen in half, and takes advantage of variable refresh rates on supported TVs. The new cable also automatically sets your TV to game mode, or low latency mode, every time you load a game. I bet that most people don't even realize their televisions have this feature. Except you. You know everything, of course. I specifically don't have a TV capable of hitting 120 Hz. We should be able to test that feature in our full review. But I do have a TV with game mode, and I love seeing that notification pop up, knowing I'm using all the tricks at my disposal. I also have a TV capable of HDR, and calibrating it was easy using the app that's preloaded on the new console. Microsoft loves labeling things on the Series X, and it has logos for quick resume, HDR upgrades on backward-compatible games, and Game Pass titles. Loading the right game at the right time can easily result in 4 notifications on the title screen alone. These aren't obtrusive, but they make me want to tell the console to calm the fuck down. We covered Quick Resume and the backward-compatible library in our first look video, so I won't linger on those here. Today, we can take a look at 2 unreleased games and see how they perform on Series X. Yakuza Like a Dragon and Dirt 5. Like a Dragon will hit current-gen and next-gen consoles on November 10th, and it has smart delivery on Series X and the all-digital Series S. This means that even if a player buys the game on Xbox One, they'll automatically receive the Series X or Series S version when they decide to play it on one of Microsoft's new consoles. In terms of gameplay on the Series X, Like a Dragon is crisp and speedy. Meanwhile, Dirt 5 runs at 120 Hz on Series X, but that's not going to show up on my living room TV. Its HDR features do, though. I've downloaded 25 games and 21 apps on the Series X, and I still have 240 gigabytes of space left on that 1 terabyte SSD. Yakuza takes up about 40 gigabytes, and Dirt 5 comes in at 65 gigabytes. I put the console through its paces in an attempt to make the fan kick up a gear, but so far it's remained blissfully silent. However, the top of the box gets warm enough to function as a mini space heater for your hands, so I'd avoid placing it directly under any shelving or fabric. And there was one thing relating to the Xbox wireless controller that I neglected to mention in our first look video. The texture on the grips is mirrored on the base of the triggers, adding a bit of tactile feedback to some of the most used buttons on the gamepad. It's very nice. The Xbox Series X supports all the media apps you'll need as well, from Crunchyroll to Netflix to Twitch, complete with HDR video in some cases. In my house, a gaming console is always the center of our entertainment space. It's where we watch shows and movies, pull up recipe videos, listen to music and podcasts, and of course, play games. The Series X blends into my living room ecosystem perfectly, offering everything we need at the push of a button or a scream into the ether. Hey Google, play Halo Infinite on Xbox.
Alright, launching on Xbox.
Not available. Well, almost everything. For all the latest gaming news, subscribe to the Engadget channel on YouTube and stay tuned to Engadget.com.